You are listening to selfdiscoverymedia.com, where illumination and inspiration is but a click away. With so many genre topics for you on everything that you need to know in life. We celebrate and share the people who have taken the journey before you and who are now here to serve you with their wisdom and their knowledge. The next show coming up is... Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sara's View of Life. I'm your host, Sara Troy, right here on selfdiscoverymedia.com. And I am doing this show from my brother's home in the UK. I came over for us all to celebrate our significant birthdays. I've had a week in London running around like crazy, meeting our new host, Hyacinth Jones from It's All About the Kids, meeting wonderful Duati, and having a wonderful time with my sister. Now I'm with my brother here in Lincolnshire, more countryside, lovely long walks by the beach, in the parks, eating fish and chips that were that big, and having a good time, more relaxing. Back to London next week for all three of us together before I come home and celebrate my birthday weekend with my family. It's all go. But what have I observed while I've been here? Quite a lot. And I'm going to be doing a more in-depth show when I come home. But for now, it's about the divide. We have politics going on in Canada, and Lord knows the politics has been going on in America ever since Trump said he was going to join. And it hasn't stopped. All I get from publicists is what the latest tweet was, the impeachment, the this, the that. No longer get wonderful authors to interview because it's always about the sensationalism of what has he done now. But here we have Brexit. You have Borris Johnson, you have Corbyn, you have a few others, and it's just a mudslinging match. And something that I have observed, which is global. We love to be divided, not united. We can see a common enemy right in front of us, what they want to do with their country, who it'll affect, and yet still people out of principle will go against the people who stand up against them just because it's a principle. I've watched so much mudslinging since I've been here, name calling, and one person saying one thing and the next person saying exactly the same thing to get the same answer. And it's so despairing. When are we going to learn? It is about us being united as a human race, but we are going to have differences and different points of opinion. It's about putting those opinions on the table and looking at all of them and looking what you can take from this and from that to make a whole. It's not about one is right and the other one is wrong. But we always get the wrong ones in when the right ones are fighting. You've got so many governments here right now that are parties, that are fighting with one another. And they're fighting because everybody wants to be right. Nobody says what they're going to do. It's just whom they hate or who they want to bash. And all you hear is Brexit, Brexit, Brexit. There are far more things in running a country than just leaving the EU. And then, of course, in America, you've got who's going to be able to fight Trump. Well, isn't it who is better to serve the country? And who has the strength, the gumption, and the tenacity to undo all that he has done? Because that's the first term will be unpeddling all that he's peddled and bringing the country back up to fruitfulness that he's bankrupt. Don't forget, he bankrupts everything. And then in Canada, of course, we have Trudeau, who's just, every picture of from going back to his babyhood and dirty diapers, they're throwing back out there. Anything they can do to demean, to demoralize, to mudsling, to bring people down. And where are the facts? Where is what you're going to do for the country, what you're going to do for the people? How is it going to have a long-term effect? Who does it affect? Who benefits from it? And it's very easy for people to go, oh, they're going to reduce the work week to 4 days instead of 5. I'm going to vote for that person. But read the fine print. Everything has a fine print. There is always what's underneath the blanket. Don't just have a peek and go, oh, no, just a toe. No, we need to really see what else is there so that we can actually understand what we're voting for. So please don't buy into the hysteria, the divide, the mudslinging. He said, she said, you wrong speech, you wore mud on your face, you did this, you did that. How about what you're going to do that serves your community, your constituents, your country? How about how it serves everyone? Because if you don't support business, business doesn't employ, business doesn't pay taxes, business can't buy things to sell to you. And there are so many shops gone in the malls here and streets that are empty because all the shops are gone because of online buying. Then you have, of course, Thomas Cook. If you haven't heard about that, that is a 180-year-old business of travel business that has just gone under because of the greed of a German gentleman who bought it over, paid himself £8 million and bankrupted it, borrowed against it for something else. And this 180-year-old thriving business went under, leaving 150,000 Brits stranded around the world. That's now going to cost $500,000 to bring them home. Can you see any rationalization in any of this? They let this person get away with it, running it to the ground. Now the Brits have got to foot the bill to bring everyone home safely and to pay the bills when it was a thriving business for so long. I mean, I'm afraid I can't fathom it. Imagine if we ran our households like this. We would have no food on the table. Everything would be utter chaos and nothing would ever get done. Be very dysfunctional. So when we look at our governments today and we hear this person promising this and promising that, read the fine print. Look underneath the blanket. Hold them accountable. Put Brexit aside. Put Trump aside. Put everything else aside. Get to the nitty-gritty. What's that comma? What's that full stop? What's that exclamation mark? No more. Read more. Ask more. Don't just, oh yeah, I'm going to get 4-day week, or I'm going to get cheaper tax, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. Remember, Trump was going to make America again. Not so great. And for all those people that he promised things to, they haven't got it. And then unfortunately, they don't realize they haven't got it. So when we look at our politicians, some of them really do go into it because they really want to make a difference. But some of them go into it because it's about ego, it's about power. And sometimes because we're so busy fighting with that group and this group, and we mudslinging left, right, and center, the snakes come in. And next thing you know, the snake is in power. Hey, I didn't vote for them. You didn't pay attention. You were so busy slinging mud that you forgot there was a snake coming up. And now you've just lost this. You've just lost that. This has been taken from you and that's been taken from you. And you did it because you didn't pay attention. So in this great divide right now that's going on all over the world with all these elections, right now I'm only addressing Canada, US, and here in Britain, which they're trying to have an election, and the whole Brexit thing, Brexit, whether they leave the EU and become an independent country again, the divide and the to stay and the to go, and it's been going on for so many years. People just want it over with. It has divided the country and, of course, the politicians, and nobody agreed with anyone, and all it is just mudslinging. We don't get anything done that way, folks. It's like the news spends so much time looking at everything that is wrong that they forget to see and highlight what is right. There's a lot of great ideas out there. There's a lot of good things that have been done. There's a lot of good things that have been planned to be done. But it's drowned out by the mudslinging and by the Brexit and by the paint face and by his latest tweet that we don't see what really is going on. If we, for one day, 24 hours, could only say nice things about people in the world, people we work with, our governments, our this, our that, 24 hours, so not one bad word, not bad intention, not one bit of mudslinging, but just positivity towards one another, pointing out the good things about each other. Wonder what would happen. Would it shift us? It'd leave everybody feeling really good. And maybe that's what they're afraid of feeling really good. Have we got to such a state where we like to be angry all the time, where being pissed off is our right. I don't think so, folks. We know anger never gets us anywhere. Being pissed off is meant to motivate you into action, not into mudslinging. And we know that hate only begets more hate. It's quite simple, folks. That love vibration is calling you, which means you've got to like, you've got to care, you've got to have kindness, you've got to have empathy, you've got to have compassion to understand what love is, and that love vibration that feeds everyone. But you can't have that while you're busy pointing your finger. Remember, one finger pointed at you, how many are pointing back? 3 fingers. Okay? So, while you're making this executive decision to vote for a party, go deeper into what they're offering. Weigh it up against all the other parties. Does it serve the whole or does it serve the few? How much is it going to cost, not just in money, but in services, in how it supplies and supports the country, and then make an executive decision based on that information. Don't be a knee-jerker, don't be a follower, don't be hysterical, don't be on the bandwagon. Do some reading, do some listening, do some deducing for yourself, and make an educated decision. And if you're saying, oh, it's too much hard work, then what you get is what you get, and you have no right to moan about it. None whatsoever. Because you didn't vote, you didn't follow through, you didn't investigate, so you have no say. If you want to say in your future, then vote, and vote for the person or the team, the group, in whatever country you're in, that really does serve the people, the country, the planet. Because we're running out of time. We're losing the battle unless we step up. I have been shocked here, quite shocked at how many people are still living in the twilight zone and the past, always trying to turn the clock back, which is impossible. How many people, well, it doesn't affect me. Yes, it does. Everything affects you. There's a lot of things that we still have to do as a human race. I would like to see us step up. And I know many of you that I've interviewed have and are stepping up. And you're inspiring other people to do the same, and I commend you. Now let's inspire others to do the same. So please, this division is killing us. Unite, get behind someone because you believe in their policies, because you believe in what they're going to do for your country, for your people, for your planet, and stay behind them. Don't wishy-washy backwards and forwards. If you aren't getting the answers, demand them. But don't let the media vote for you. Please use the noggin, the brain. Listen, see, ask questions, and vote based on the person that is the best for your country. And don't go by a few campaign promises, because do any of them deliver them? No more division, okay? No more mudslinging. We know who's doing right and who's doing wrong, but don't let the snakes in because you are so busy throwing mud at the others that the snake just slips on in because you've divided. Okay? And remember, although we can take some wisdom, some morals, some considerations from the past forward, it is about moving forward, not about rolling back time. You've had that time. If you misspent it, that was your problem. It's the time you have in the now that counts. Use this time wisely. Use it wisely in your own life, in everything that you do in your interactions, in the way you vote, and who you are. The past is the past. Who you are today will govern your tomorrow. You don't live for tomorrow, you live for today. And today is the day that you go and investigate. Okay? No more divide, folks. We've seen too much of it. We've seen too much. Put your egos aside. Put your self-importance aside. Put your principles aside and listen. And to listen to what's being said, what really can deliver, and how we can make a difference. So next week, I will give you my trip to England and everything I did, and a few other things. And it's actually quite funny. We've just gone for a walk around my old childhood park and saw my childhood home. And it's an old age home now. And imagine if I lived here, my childhood home might have become my old age home. Food for thought. A little scary, because when I lived here, that was 51 years ago. Okay, be back in Canada soon. To all of you, remember, listen, learn, deduce, make a proper educated assumption, and vote for the person that's going to treat us all equally. All right? Catch you next week. Bye for now, folks. Bye from England.
We hope that you enjoyed the show and were inspired to come and visit us at selfdiscoverymedia.com and see what other shows we have for you. And please do visit our selfdiscoverycommunity.org and see how you can be a part of giving back. Thank you very much.